Hi everyone. In this third part of the design process, we're tackling these two parts of the documentation that we created in part one, which is to display an error and ask to re-enter when putting in the values for the times table and the range. The second thing that we need to sort out is ask to quit and to go again. At the end of the last video, we put in these paragraphs. We put, oops, I made it disappear. We put these into paragraphs. So we set, because these were all in one paragraph, now we separated them out into one paragraph, but that doesn't necessarily work, right? So now, if we do it like this, perform check after it's asked, we could do it this way. We could make these paragraphs down here all do the whole thing, but let's get this working first. The idea is just to get the program working to begin with. If we take a copy of this program after the accept there, so after this one has been accepted, it's going to need to be checked, and we're going to have to check it for paragraph 2, and then after this has been accepted, we need to check it. And this one is going to be paragraph 3. Now, it is starting to look to me that perhaps we can put much of this, we could perhaps add it into here. I mean, maybe this display here, from here, could actually go in to this paragraph here, and it might make it all look a bit tidier. But let's just see how this goes first. So let's compile it. It's compiled, okay. Now we're going to run it. And it's asking us for a legal integer. Well, let's give an illegal one. Let's do 0. And it gives us the error message. So we put in 3 now. And now it moves on to the next one, start of range. So that seems to have worked okay. So if I put in 6, and then that moves into the end of range. Now what happens if I put in an error? It gives us an error, and it asks us to give something back that is between 6 and 12. So let's give another error, and it does it again. So this time let's give it 8. And see what happens, and now it works, and it is working. It is working fine. So we can do it this way, or we could add them into the paragraphs. But since we've got it working, we could just leave it like that for now. And we want to look at the next part. And now the next part might involve us writing a bit more of pseudocode. What it's asking us to do is, once we've got to the end of this program where it's just stopped, instead of doing that, we've got like, program done, stop run. Instead of doing that, what if it asks us what it wants to do? So how could we do that? Well, I guess we could do it by asking a question. And we could ask the question, do you want to enter another table? Do you want to go again? Do you want to try again? Something like that. Yeah? Now, where are we going to put it? Because everything should really be after this stop run. I guess we could put perform up here. So after it's displayed that, it then comes back up here. It then does perform. We want to give it a name. So this name would be something like go again. Yeah. So what's going to be in go again? Let's make sure we get the. We'll come down here. I'll put this in. We have the paragraph. Go again. We're not really going to need that much pseudocode really, and we don't really have to write the pseudocode for it because it's going to be something that's very, very simple, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So something very simple. What could it be? It's going to have to ask a question, isn't it? Display. Do you want to go again? We're going to have the question mark. Now it's going to have to accept something. So we're going to have to accept. And we're going to have to give that a variable. Now if we're going to create a new variable, we're going to have to put a variable at the top. So let's first of all, let's think about what we're going to call it. That'll have to be completed with a period there. What are we going to call this variable if it displays? It could be something as simple as yes, no. And let's put that variable in there so we know what's going on here. So we're going to have a 1. We'll have a variable and pick, and it's going to be a string. So what could what are we going to need? We're going to if we ask just to enter yes or no, then it's just going to need 1, isn't it? So we can just do X. Now we've got this down here, and now we're going to have to check it. So if we do if yes, no is equal to y, so we have to put that in quotes. What do we want it to do? We want it to perform we're going to want it to perform get user input. But if we do that, once it gets to the end of this, it's not going to jump back up to here. So what if we take the chance and take a copy of this and see if it does work? See if it causes any problems for us. Yeah. So what happens if it's not Y? So let's do else. So what happens there? Else perform. Let's see if this compiles. Let's see what happens. So certainly I can see a number of problems that can happen. Right. Unexpected else. That could be because I put that in there, and it should be after the whole thing. I might have got something wrong with else. Let's try this again. So we have compile. Let's see what it does. Oh, and it's compiled. So now what if we have run? We run this. I should have cleared it really. I'm going to zoom in here and we'll see what happens. So let's be good and put in something that is real. Enter the start of range. I'm going to do between 5 and 10. And it gives us the answer. Now it's asking the question, do you want to go again? Well, let's put in yes. I'm not going to be naughty this time. And then it answers the question, and it's asking us to go again. Please use integers only. Enter a multiplication table between 1 and 12. Well, okay, let's do this time. Let's do 6. And I'm going to start off with 3, and I want it to go up to 7. And now it says, do you want to go again? Well, this time, I'm going to put a lowercase y in just because I want to see what happens. What do you think is going to happen? Once I press return, what's going to happen? It stops. Now, why do you think it stopped? First of all, let's clear this. Why did it do that? It did it because it's very precise and it's looking for something that exactly matches y. So, what we could do is if yes, no equals, and we'll do the lowercase y, move and uppercase y to yes, no. Now then, we do the save, and we go over here, and we compile, and it's compiled okay, and now we do the run, and we'd be good. And we do 5 to 9. Do you want to go again? And I do the lowercase value. Now what's going to happen? Once I press return, is it going to work? Have I made some mistakes there somewhere? Let's see. And it asks us to go again. Please use integers. Let's put in 5. And this time we're going to do from 2 to 5. And it gives us the answer. And this time I'm going to put in like H. And it comes to an end. Because anything other than Y is going to send it to the stop. So what's happening is it never reaches this part because it always goes to go again, perform go again. And go again demands where the flow of the program is going to go. So now we have a working program that is doing all of the things that we requested. And it could be made to look a bit smarter. It could be a bit smarter, yeah, sure. And there might be a few tricks that we could do. But it's working to the spec. And we've been through the design process. Now you've got a really good idea of the design process. And you saw, as we went through the 3 videos, you go from the finding out what is desired for the program, writing it out in simple terms, turning that into pseudo code, turning it into actual code, and then over 2 or 3 iterations, we then refine it until we've got what we want. And we tackled the core of the program first, And then there was like, the sizable chunk afterwards was the dealing with asking the user if they wanted to go again or whether they wanted to stop. I hope you enjoyed these videos. I hope they help you out. If you did like this video, please do give it a like. Come and visit my channel and check out the rest of my videos. Maybe I've got something else there that you would like. Please feel free to leave a comment. Say how you feel. Did you like it? Did you hate it? But if you hated it, just be polite about it. And if you liked it, then feel free to go over the top. That's it for now. Have a great day.